That was exhausting.
Philip, you missed a lot of coins out there.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Tavern Talk. I'm Philip. Joining me once again this week, my brother-in-law, Austin Rowe. Thank you for being here, buddy.
Thank you for taking me.
Yeah, of course. What did we see this week?
We saw the Super Mario Brothers movie with Chris Pratt.
Yes, Chris Pratt, Charlie Day, Anya Taylor-Joy, Keegan-Michael Key, Jack Black, Seth Rogen, a ton of people in this voice cast. Woohoo! But obviously, you have done a couple reviews with us before, the Sonic the Hedgehog ones. So we see a trend here, right? Yep. Austin comes when there's video game movies. Exactly right. I know you've been looking forward to this movie for a long time. I played Super Mario when I was a kid. I know you've played a lot more of the Super Mario games than I have. But coming into this movie, what were you hoping it would be, and did it live up to your expectations?
It's up there.
Yeah,
because it's like a good adventure movie. It's like it's got all the references, it's got all the characters, it's got all the not most of the characters, but it's got all the hidden details. It's just an interesting family movie that's based off of a video game. Illumination and Nintendo did their homework well.
Yeah, this is from Illumination, the guys who did, obviously, Despicable Me, Minions movies, also Secret Life of Pets, Sing. And my kids, your niece and nephews, love a lot of those movies, especially like the Sing and the Minion movies and things like that. So this one, I think a lot of kids are going to enjoy this as well, whether or not they have a connection to the video game or not. But yeah, so throughout a lot of this movie, you were like, oh, that's an Easter egg, that's an Easter egg. So did it obviously incorporated a lot from several of the video games. What were some of the highlights for you that you liked seeing the most? Well,
there was if you heard the music from the Dry Bones scene, well, that's in the movie. You'll hear a Luigi's Mansion remix cinema kind of theme in the background when Luigi's in the dark area.
Yeah, I thought it was neat that it seemed like they incorporated a lot of the different games. Like, obviously, I'm familiar with Donkey Kong, and we get kind of once Donkey Kong shows up, we get to visit Donkey Kong Land, but we also get kind of like a Super Smash Bros. Scenario. There's obviously like a Mario Kart sequence, and then, as you mentioned, the Luigi's Mansion. Story-wise, is this anything that is from any particular game, or did they just kind of like do a collage of all these different game scenarios and kind of put them into a new story?
Let's see. I think it's a fusion. I think it's like a fusion of all the games put together.
Yeah.
A couple ideas get together. It's like somebody's fan fiction, but more like a cinema kind of feel.
Yeah, that's kind of always the thing when it comes to video game movies, at least. We have the characters, we have interesting backstories, we have certain scenarios we can put them in, but what is the connective tissue that can kind of string these things together and make it one coherent story? And that always seems to be kind of the challenge with these video games. But this one, growing up, like I said, I've played a few of the Super Mario games, and it is, of course, just kind of different levels. You get to the end, you fight a big bad, you go on to the next level. Woohoo! There's different lands, and they kind of incorporate that stuff in there. But I thought they did really well here to kind of put together this story of Mario and Luigi. They're plumbers in Brooklyn. They fall into these pipes and go to this magical world where they encounter Bowser, who has stolen this superstar and is trying to use it in order to engage, literally get engaged to Princess Peach and take over her island and everything. And so Mario essentially has to comes to save Luigi because they get separated, but he also gets to save the day. Let's go! And so, it's simple enough. It's pretty cut and dry. You kind of know, if you've seen a movie like this before, you know exactly where it's going. But I thought, the most important part, obviously, is the ride. And I thought this ride was really fun and enjoyable.
It was.
What are some other things that stood out to you that you really enjoyed about it, though?
Some characters make cameos in this movie, and some have actual speaking lines. In the actual early scene, if you go to when they go to the jump, you can actually see Jumpman. He's actually voiced by the original voice actor of Mario himself.
Macho, it's perfect. Wahoo!
Oh,
Charles
really?
Martinet, yeah.
Oh, very cool. See, that's a neat tidbit. I would have never known.
Spike is actually a nod to the players of the 80s. He's actually from a video game called Wrecking Crew, because you actually see the details on his costume.
Yeah, I was going to say I saw that on his hat, and a lot of there's been a lot of talk and stuff around some of the voice work in this, specifically Chris Pratt. I always thought of Chris Pratt as a really fun, gifted voice actor, as much as doing live action films. I love the Lego Movie and how he did Emmett in those movies.
I am so pumped up.
And I thought I didn't mind his voice work here. What did you think? Did that bother you?
Mm-mm.
No, yeah. I wish Charlie Day had a lot more to do. I'll tell you, my favorite parts of this movie were probably Jack Black as Bowser,
Peaches, 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 peaches.
which was really fun.
The piano scene.
Yeah, I thought that was great. But were there any voice performances that you especially liked? Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
Keegan-Michael Key did a good job as Peach's bodyguard.
Yeah, he was Toad, wasn't he? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That did not sound like him at all. I had to look up who voiced Toad, and it was Keegan. He's always great, super reliable, and it really funny here.
Yeah, and there's also some songs from the movie. You got the DK rap from Super Mario, from Donkey Kong 64. And you also got some of the Kongs. You got in the crowd. You got Diddy Kong. You had some kind of Kong that looked like Cranky Kong, and you also had Dixie Kong in there too.
Yeah. No, Cranky Kong is he's the king of Donkey Kong Land, right, or whatever that island is called. Yeah. No, that was really cool. I was a big fan of Donkey Kong growing up, so it was neat to kind of see that realized on the big screen.
I was looking forward to see if Funky Kong was in there, but you have to.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Funky Kong.
Yeah, he's like the Funky Kong's the one with the sunglasses, but you have to figure out. You just have the look him up.
Oh, is he the one that drove them too?
I hope he was, but he's like the cool one. He's got like the bandana on his head.
Oh, okay, maybe not then. I can't remember.
I hope he was in there, but if you could spot him, just give us a nod.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll have to see it again, and I'm sure you'll watch it several more times. Are you hopeful that this will be a big enough hit that there are more movies made?
I hope, because Nintendo and Illumination did a good job. The one hard part would be Zelda's story and Metroid's kind of story, because Metroid and Zelda they can get dark at times.
Yeah, I think if they do those, they'll probably be separate movies. But you could,
Probably.
there's enough. There are enough characters and enough different worlds, and like you said, plenty of different video games that they could definitely. I mean, even there is a post-credit tease that features a character that's not really featured here in this first movie. So I think they definitely have plans for future installments if they come to pass. But yeah, I'd be interested to kind of see where they go with this, because there's obviously a lot of room to explore with the Super Mario Brothers world and universe and everything. But as you know, at the end of these, we do kind of an out of 5-star initial reaction rating. So what would you rate the Super Mario Bros. Movie?
5 golden coins out of 5.
Yeah, full 5 stars. You really enjoyed it?
Or 5, or like 5 Super Mario superstars out of 5.
Oh, there you go. Okay, well, that's awesome. That's good to hear that you really enjoyed it. As someone who has, been a loyal video game player for so many years, and someone who knows that world so well, that can only bode well for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. So thank you for doing that, or thank you for doing this with me, for seeing the movie, and for talking with me about it. I appreciate it, and I can't wait to watch it again and point out a few more of those Easter eggs with you. Anything else you wanted to say about the movie before we go?
This is a really good Mario movie, and it'll be out on theaters. Don't miss it. Hopefully it'll be a good enough movie for the companies to make more franchises of this thing. This is their equivalent to the Avengers, because their cinematic universe to rival Marvel's.
Okay.
Because we might see a 3D CGI movie of Zelda with Link.
You really want that Zelda movie, don't you? I can feel it.
And yes, also Samus would look good in CGI too. But
okay.
We just have to wait and see.
Yeah, maybe if this one's successful enough, that'll happen. But you're right, or Austin is right. Super Mario Bros. Movie is in theaters. And if you have a movie tavern near you, definitely venture out to see it on the big screen. We want to thank them for letting us see the movie here, shoot the show in their theaters. And also want to thank you guys for watching. If you haven't, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, like button. All that stuff helps us get more views and get more attention on the channel. But we drop a new review a couple times a month of the biggest releases. So definitely check out our other reviews. But that's it for this week. Thank you once again, buddy. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.
This is a stunt.
Stunts.
My name is Phil, and welcome to
What's? I feel like it should be like
This is the Mario Tube.
Andy Samberg and not Rod like. Hi. No.